Hello, my name is Trần from Presentaion University. Today I will introduce a very powerful application of Microsoft Corporation, that is Microsoft PowerPoint. I'm sharing my PowerPoint screen, and you can see it is the last chapter in our course. I will show you how to use the Microsoft PowerPoint application to create some presentation. In this chapter, there are 3 units. First of all, that is Unit 1, Introduction of Microsoft PowerPoint. In Unit 2, how to design a presentation. And the last one, after you designing a presentation, you can learn how to SlideShow presentation. In Unit 1, Introduction of Microsoft PowerPoint, you have learned about Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and now there is Microsoft PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a member of Microsoft Office suite of application. This suite of application is developed by Microsoft Corporation. You can use Microsoft PowerPoint to create a presentation and use Microsoft PowerPoint to make a presentation to all the listener and all the student. You can use Microsoft PowerPoint to print out the presentation or print out the slide handout. You have slide handout in your hand. I use Microsoft PowerPoint to print it out, and you can take it to the class. There are some basic concepts of Microsoft PowerPoint. First of all, each page of the presentation, you can call it a slide. You can see many slides on the left, and when I click on each slide, the content of the slide will appear here. That is a slide, and the collection of every slide, that is a presentation. A presentation can be saved into your computer. It can be a file in your computer, that is PPT or PPTX file. PPT or PPTX, that is PowerPoint file, PowerPoint presentation. There are some slide components inside a slide. The slide components, that is placeholder of a slide. In Microsoft PowerPoint, you have to remember the component of a slide, that is the placeholder. There are some placeholder, slide title, slide detail, or note. For example, in this slide, you can see that is the slide title. Normally, it is at the top of the slide, and the bigger area, that is the slide detail. The slide detail here, and where is note? The note here, you can see below of the slide, that is slide note. If you don't see the slide note in your PowerPoint screen, you can click here to hide or show the note of the slide. What is the note? For example, when I design a slide, I am afraid that I will forget something when I talk to you. So I will take a note here. For example, I will type the note that is so example 1, and then take a break. This is an example of the note, because when I type something in the note and I start present my presentation on the screen, the student, the listener, only see the slide. But for the presenter, that is me, I can see the note I have just inserted here on my screen. For the listener screen, only the slide content, only slide title and slide detail will appear on the listener screen. On my screen, the presenter, I can see the note. That's why the note is very important for the presenter. But if you don't want to see the note anymore, you can click here to hide the note. I will show you the PowerPoint window. On the screen, you can see the PowerPoint window. At the top, that is the title bar. On the title bar, you can see the name of the application, that is PowerPoint, and the name of the presentation. And on the left of the title bar, you can see the quick access toolbar here. You can change, add, or remove some button inside the quick access toolbar by click the small button here, and you can select some more button to show it out. A very important button I often show out, that is screen preview. It is very popular button to have an overview of your document and overview of your presentation. That is screen preview button. Below the title bar, you can see the ribbon. The ribbon in Microsoft PowerPoint that is similar to Word or Microsoft Excel. Below the ribbon, you can see on the left of the screen, that is the navigation pane, or you can call it slide pane. You can see on the slide here, you can see the number of the slide. You can use the scroll bar here to move. You can separate your presentation into different sections. For example, this is the start of chapter 8, the chapter 8 section. Because my presentation has lots of slides, 200 slides, that's why I have to separate into different sections, easier to manage. This is navigation pane, and on the right you can see the slide pane, that is the main work area. You can entering the data inside your slide. You can use the slide pane to format the slide and create many other actions for the slide detail and the slide placeholder. And at the bottom of the screen, that is status bar. On the status bar, you can see how many slides in your presentation. More than 200 here. And the current slide, that is 197. And on the right of the status bar, you can see some button, some important button here. That is SlideShow button. You can change the mode of your presentation here. This is some important general designing rule. I want to show you some rule when you design a presentation. First rule, that is 10, 20, and 30 rule. What is 10, 20, and 30 rule? 10, that is 10 slides. When you create a presentation, you want to present something. You want to present a topic. You try to move all the data inside only 10 slides. Don't make your presentation too long, too much slides. 10, that is enough. But 10 is a popular number. If your topic is very special, you can change the number of your slide, maybe only 5 or maybe 15. But try to reduce the slide number. 10, that is enough for a topic. The next number, that is 20. 20, that means 20 minutes. When you do your presentation, you want to present your topic, I think you should talk in only 20 minutes. But sometimes when you present your topic, sometimes you have only 10 or 5 minutes. So try to talk as short as you can. The third number, that is 30 points. What is the 30 points? The 30 points, that is the size of the text inside your presentation. Remember, sometimes you have to make your presentation in a large hall because there are a lot of people inside the hall. And for the people who are sitting at the back of the hall, they cannot see your text if the size of your presentation is very small. So try to make the font size is around 30 points. The second rule, that is, a slide has only one topic. A topic has not more than 6 contents, and one content has not more than 2 lines. Try to follow the rule. Sometimes the presenter, they will copy all the text in the Word document into presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint. That is very popular mistake. Please keep the important text in the slide. Try to cut all unnecessary text and keep the important thing. One topic has not more than 6 contents. That means you can apply the bullet here, but the maximum, that is 6, and one content has not more than 2 lines. Please don't put too much text inside Microsoft PowerPoint. The third rule, that is word, color, font, and style should be consistent. You are talking about the economic, or you are presenting the hotel or the restaurant. Please use the color, font, and style consistent. Don't change the style immediately. For each slide, please keep your presentation on the word, the color, font. Don't change, don't use too much font. Try to make it consistent.
The fourth one, that is the balance layout. What is the balance layout? You can see your slide is a rectangle here. Don't move on the text and content to the top and the bottom half that is blank. You have to make an overview of the slide and try to move text picture to all area of the slide. It will has a balanced layout. Don't move everything into a corner of the slide. A picture is worth 1,000 words. That means you try to insert a picture, insert a chart, a figure is much better than typing some character inside. Of course, when you insert a picture, insert a chart or figure, it must be in high quality and relevant. When I'm talking about Microsoft PowerPoint, I cannot insert a picture of a cat inside my slide because it is not relevant. And try to copy a picture in a high quality inside. You have to answer the question, who will listen to your presentation? The elder, adult, or children? Who will listen? The friend, or the lecturer, or the teacher? So when you answer this question, you will decide the style of your presentation. When you make your presentation to the lecturer, your teacher, you cannot insert some cat. The cat is very beautiful, but the style is not suitable. But it's suitable for the children and the baby. When you create the presentation for the kid, you have to insert some attractive picture. That's right, you have to think and you have to answer the question, who will listen to your presentation? It is very important. And now you can see the process when you design your presentation. First of all, you have to create a new presentation and you will choose a template or theme in Microsoft PowerPoint. Please don't try to create a blank presentation. You should try to apply a template or theme. It appears in Microsoft PowerPoint and easy to take one and apply for your presentation. And then you can change the formatting in Slide Master. I will show you what is the Slide Master after. After changing the formatting in Slide Master, you can move to the next step, that is start input the data. Input the text, the contents, and you can format the contents of the presentation. After input and format the content of the slide, you can start think about the animation and the transition of the slide. You can apply animation for the slide contents and apply the transition for every slide in your presentation. And then the last one, you can start setting the SlideShow option. And if you want to print out your presentation, you can think about the printing option. But if you don't print it out, just think about the SlideShow option. That's enough for you. So please remember the design process you have to follow. Some students, when you create your presentation, you create a new blank presentation and then copy the text from Word to your Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. You forget to make the formatting in the Slide Master. So when you prepare lots of slides, you have to start formatting. It takes many time and it is very hard to format without apply a template, without format the Slide Master. So try to follow this process, important for you. This is presentation view. There are several ways to see the presentation. You can see my presentation now is in normal mode. You can change to the other mode. Please click at View tab here. You can see some presentation view. Normal mode or Outline view or Slide Sorter or Notepad reading view. Normally you are in normal mode, but sometimes you can change your mode. For example, Slide Sorter. You can see Slide Sorter on my screen. Slide Sorter, you easy to scroll to all the slide in your presentation. But you want to edit and format something, you have to switch to the normal mode. Or if you want to change the view mode of your presentation, you can use buttons on the status bar here. I will move the cursor to the sum button on the status bar. You can change the view mode here. When you create a new presentation, you can choose a template to insert. For example, if you want to insert a new presentation, you can click on File and then New. When you click on New, you can see some template and theme are available for you. For example, this one. You can see the name of the theme, the name of the template here. For example, Meditation, Gallery, or Savon, or Organic. So when you do the exercise or when you do the final test, please remember you have to find the exactly theme for your presentation. For example, they require to apply the organic themes. You have to find out where is the organic. When you apply theme, you can use the default font or default formatting in the themes. If you want to change the theme, if you don't want to apply the organic anymore, you can click on the design tab on the ribbon, and then you can change the theme here. When you move the cursor to each theme, you can see the name will appear. For example, there is integral themes, or you can move and decide which theme you want. When you move the cursor to each theme, the theme will display. Your slide is changing now. And remember, the name of the theme will stand on alphabet, so it can help you to select the correct theme easily. In this slide, you can see the slide operation, how to delete a slide, add a slide, move slide, or copy slide. All the operation you will do on the navigation pane on the left. For example, you can right click on a slide on the left, and then you can see some option here, that is insert a new slide. You can duplicate this slide. That means you copy and paste your slide. You will have two similar slides. Or you can delete this slide, or you can add section. If your presentation has a lot of slides, you can separate into different sections by add section here. For the format slide, that is the general formatting. First of all, that is a slide master. What is the slide master? Slide master is very important thing you have to remember when you create a presentation. Slide master, that is all the formatting. You can change everything in the slide master. The font, the size, the color of the text in every slide. Remember, when you change something in slide master, every formatting in all slide in your presentation will be changed. You can change the title in the presentation. You can change the date and time. You can insert the slide number, or you will want to insert the company logo here. If you want to insert a company logo, for example, you can see FTU logo here. You cannot insert the logo 100 times. You have to open Slide Master and then insert the logo inside Slide Master. I will show you how to change something in Slide Master. I will click on View tab and then Slide Master here. When you open Slide Master, you can see a Slide Master tab will appear on the ribbon. And you can see the top slide. You can change the font for the slide title and change something for the slide detail here. So the first slide will be the popular slide in your presentation. And this slide is the cover slide. If you want to change something for the cover slide, that is the first slide in your presentation. If you want to change something, you have to select this one and change the font, the color. If you want to insert the logo inside every slide in your presentation, you have to move to the top slide in navigation pane on the left, and then you can insert your logo, your picture here. You can change the slide footer here. You can type your name in the footer, change what will appear on the footer. You can change the way of the bullet and numbering in the slide detail. Remember, after changing every formatting you want in your presentation, you will close the Slide Master by click on the Slide Master tab on the ribbon and then click on Close Master View. Your slide, your presentation will back to the normal mode and you can start insert your text, insert your data inside your presentation. Please remember, when you insert a slide, your slide will have some different layout. You can right click on a slide in navigation pane. You can change the layout here. You can see the title slide. If you want to change this slide into the title slide layout, you can click here. But normally, only one title slide. It will be the first slide in your presentation. So you never use it anymore. In normally, every slide, it will be the title and content layout. You can see the layout like this. That is the title and content layout. Your slide will has a title at the top. The slide detail will has a large rectangle below the title. That is the title and content layout. You can see some different layout. That is to content. For example, I want to add a new slide here. By the default, the new slide will apply the layout. That is the title and content. If I want to compare something, I can change it into the comparison. When I change the layout of the slide into the comparisons, you can see the slide is separated into similar columns. The first column and the second column. You can compare to add something to compare something. If you don't want to apply the comparison layout, you can click here and change, for example, to content on the left, on the right. When you create your presentation, you can use some button here. For example, insert table, insert chart, insert a SmartArt, or insert something inside this content. That is the placeholder. If you want to insert a table inside this content, you have to use this button. You shouldn't click insert and then insert a table here. You should use this placeholder. The size will be fit inside this content. It will be easier for you to manage the chart, manage the SmartArt inside your slide. If you don't want to use this layout anymore, you can switch back into the title and content. Enter and format the text. It's similar to Microsoft Word. You will apply some popular action, that is increase indent, decrease indent. I mean increase indent and decrease indent here. You can apply some increase indent to change the size, change the level of the text. And when you change the level, the size, the color, and maybe the bullet will be changed. It depends on the setting in the slide master. You can change the slide spacing to arrange all the data inside your slide. This button. You can change the line spacing option here. After enter the data inside your presentation, you can start apply some more professional action for your presentation. First of all, that is the transition. What is the transition in Microsoft PowerPoint? When you present your presentation, whenever your slide appear and disappear, you can apply the transition here. Transition will apply some effect for your slide. And next one, the animation. The animation is the effect for the slide detail. For more detail, the transition. If you want all the slide page will appear or disappear, you can apply some effect in the transition. For example, this one. On the slide page will appear. But if you want to change the title animation and the detail animation, you can click on the animation here. When you apply some animation for the slide detail, you should click on the animation pane here. And you can see the list of the animation are applying inside the slide contents. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 animation are applying to the slide contents. You can change animation here. I can click here to enlarge the animation button here. You can see a lot of animation in the list. Part 1, that is entrance. What is entrance animation? The entrance animation, that is the animation when the content appear. You can choose any inside entrance animation to make the animation when the text appear. After appearing, how can you make your text doing something? You can apply some animation inside emphasis section here. Entrance, that is the way your text will appear. After appearing, you want your text will do something, that is emphasis. After emphasis, you want your text will disappear, will go away, that is exit animation. You can see 3 parts of animation here. The top part, that is the way the title will appear. Emphasis, that is after appearing, what your text will do, that is emphasis. And the last one, the last part, that is exit, what you want to apply to make your text table, make your picture will exist. That means disappear on the screen. So appear, after appearing, and go away. Animation. When you apply an animation, you can change something. You can see the timing area on animation pane. The timing, you can choose how the animation can start. By the default, the start will be on click. On click, that means you can click on the mouse, or you can press the space or some arrow button on the keyboard. That is on click option. If you want to change it, click here, and then you can change with previous. The title will do the animation with previous animation or after previous animation. By the default, it is on click, and then you can see 5 animation here. After animation 1, action, I can click on mouse button, and then animation 2, click, and then animation 3. But when I select this one and change it into after previous, that means after this one appear, the second one will appear immediately without press anything. This one, and then this one, and then this one. Immediately. Don't need to click anything. You can change the duration and the delay for the animation. Duration, that is the time animation window. 0.5, that is the animation will do in only half a second. 0.5 a second. If you change to 5.5, that is the duration of the animation, that is 5.5 seconds. The delay, that means you have to delay, you have to wait 5 seconds. The animation will delay 5 seconds. That means after do this one, the first animation here, you have to delay 5 seconds before the second animation window. So you have to remember this one. Start option, duration, delay. The number in the duration and number in the delay, that is the second. How many seconds of the animation, that is you have to change the duration. How many seconds you have to wait, you have to delay, that is you can change the number here. So next in the animation, it is harder for you, that is the trigger. The trigger, that means when I click on the mouse button or when I click on the keyboard, the animation window. But sometimes I want to add a trigger. That means only when I click on something. For example, only when I click on the logo, the picture in my slide, the animation window. Normally, you only click the button on the keyboard or the mouse button, the action window. But if you apply some trigger here, you have to click on something. For example, only when I click on the slide title. So you have to find out what is the slide title. So you can click up rectangle 3. Only when you click on rectangle 3, the animation of this text window. If you click outside, if you click on the button on the keyboard, nothing happens. Only when you click on the rectangle 3, that is the name of the title. When you click on this one, the rectangle 3, the animation window. So please remember the placeholder you have in your slide will appear here. And when you want to apply some trigger, please use this button. Sometimes you can create some hyperlink inside your presentation. For example, in your exercise, sometimes you have to require to insert text, for example, Excel file, and you have to apply hyperlink. You can open Excel file here. When you do the final test in the left, the final exam, the final exam will require you to do some Word document and Excel file. You have to store the Word exercise and Excel exercise in your folder. And the third part of the final test will ask you to create a presentation. In your presentation, you have to create a link to the Excel file and link to the Microsoft Word file. So you can right click and then open the link. You can open the file inside this window. For example, this one. Okay. And then when you start present your presentation, you can click on the Excel file link here and your Excel file will be open. Or you can edit the hyperlink. If you don't want to link to the file or the web page, you can link to some place in this document. That means you can link to some slide in your presentation. For example, I want to link to my second slide. You can select this one. Or 100 slide. You can click here. This is link to another slide in my presentation. That means place in this document or existing file or web page here. That is create a link inside your presentation. When you set up your SlideShow, you can click on the SlideShow tab on the screen and then you can set up SlideShow, or you can start SlideShow from the beginning. When you click on the setup SlideShow, you can use some option here. For example, loop continuously until escape. That means your SlideShow will appear from slide 1 to the last slide, and then it will loop come back to the first slide until you press escape key on the keyboard. That is the popular option you have to require when you do your exercise in Microsoft PowerPoint part. Or I see a lot of tasks in your final test request you to check this option, loop continuously until escape. It is a special part in Microsoft PowerPoint exercise. You have to insert a photo album here. You can click insert and click photo album and then new photo album. You have to open and select some photo in the computer to create a presentation to own the photo in the presentation. You can click here and then you can change the album layout. That means the picture layout and the frame shape here. These options are required inside your exercise. So please select it very carefully. You read the task carefully and select the correct requirement here. For example, the picture layout, they require you to choose a fit to slide. So you have to select the picture layout option correct here and change the frame shape and then change the theme. So you can see some exercise in PowerPoint part in your exercise book. You have to do exercise inside the PowerPoint part, and you can see one exercise about the create a photo album inside the Microsoft PowerPoint. So that's all for our course. I just told you the chapter 8 about Microsoft PowerPoint. The exercise in Microsoft PowerPoint is not difficult. What you have to do to practice yourself, you have to know about the tasks that the exercise require you. It is similar to the final test you have to do in lab. Okay, that's all for today. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Have a nice day.